Yeah, I mean, I don't really like seeing bare feet, but that was impressive.
This is SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and we start with what appears to be massive news, as Lionel Messi is reportedly signing with Inter Miami of the MLS. Now, we're saying reportedly on the show a decent amount, but because this is soccer news, we really need to stress that word. Because in soccer, until we see the player holding the jersey, we're always going to be a little skeptical about reported news. However, we did get the Fabrizio Romano "here we go," which is pretty much the closest thing to a guarantee as there is in soccer. But let's focus on that report. Messi reportedly chose Miami over a return to Barcelona and a move to Saudi Arabia that would have reportedly paid him 400 million euros per season. Even at age 35, Messi's still one of the world's best players, coming off a World Cup win for Argentina in December, a tournament in which he received the Golden Ball, becoming the first player in history to win that award twice. But he was also spectacular during the club season, as he was the only player in a European top 5 league to have 20 goals and 20 assists in all competitions. Tickets for Inter Miami's game September 3rd against LAFC have now risen from $81 a ticket to $422. I mean, if you think about it, for us North American fans, this would be incredible if he actually did come to the MLS. That means we'll see him in Toronto. He'll come to Toronto. Messi will be here. I mean, would Ronaldo be so kind? I didn't think so. Now joined by our gambling guy, Wes Chang. Great to see you, Wes.
Hey, great to see you, Marissa.
Okay, Wes, heat culture is back. Pitbull is playing loud, and we've got a series again as this thing shifts to Miami. Give us your best bet for tonight.
We're going to go with Jamal Murray over 6.5 assists, which is getting bet up really heavily. He's averaging 10 assists per game during these first two finals games. And it's pretty easy. When you got Jokic on the other side of the ball, 10 of his 20 dimes so far have come off of his makes. But the big thing, in Game 3, Denver's going to look to make some adjustments, get some more three-point volume up, something they haven't done successfully in the first two games. Jimmy Butler's going to stay hard on him. Expect Murray to continue this role as a playmaker.
Okay, you cooked up a little same-game parlay for us on FanDuel. What's on it?
So we got Murray once again, 6+ assists, but we also have Jokic to grab 2 threes, something he's had a lot of success during these games in the playoffs. He's had 5 out of 7 road games where he's covered 2+ 3-pointers, and he's shooting 52% on the road. And we got Kevin Love to get 6+ boards. That was a game 2 adjustment by Spo that worked out really well for them. He was a much better fit for Aaron Gordon versus Caleb Martin, and he's one of their best rebounders anytime he's on the court.
Wes Chang, a pleasure as always.
Thanks, Marissa.
After what felt like forever, the NBA Finals are back tonight as the series shifts to Miami for Game 3. And if history has taught us anything, who wins tonight is likely who wins the series. Because the winner of Game 3 in a 1-1 series is 32-8 in NBA Finals history. And let's bring a little more history into this. Because what Miami's doing in the fourth quarter in these playoffs is historic, to say the least. In the first 3 quarters of games in the postseason, Miami are being outscored by 24. But in the fourth quarter, they have a plus 90-point differential, which is actually good for third best all time. And just to further hammer home what heat culture truly is, we see another Eric Spoelstra coach team there in the 2020 bubble heat. But there's even more to that stat. Game 2 is Miami's 4th win in these playoffs, when trailing by 8 or more in the 4th. That's the most in NBA playoff history. Miami's 4-5 in those situations, while the rest of the NBA is just 1-41 in this postseason. Okay, this is a little too much heat culture, y'all. I think we need to balance it out with some Nuggets talk. And there are a couple stats going around that paint a picture of how Nikola Jokic has to play for Denver to win tonight. We talked about it Monday, the Nuggets are 0-3 in games where Jokic has scored 40 or more in the playoffs. And they've lost 9 straight games going back to the regular season when he has 4 or fewer assists. So for Denver to win tonight, we assume we're going to see less scoring and more passing from Jokic. Looking at the odds, it looks like our friends at FanDuel are expecting the same from Jokic, as there's heavy juice on the over for dimes at 9.5. As for the game, Denver are 2.5-point road favorites, a line that originally opened at 1.5. Yesterday, the golf world was rocked with that historic announcement that the PGA Tour and LIV would be merging, and PGA Tour players were reportedly shocked by the announcement. Prior to the merger, one of the most vocal players against the LIV Tour was Rory McIlroy, and he spoke at the Canadian Open earlier this morning.
I think ultimately, when I try to remove myself from the situation and I look at the bigger picture and I look at 10 years down the line, I think ultimately this is going to be, it's going to be good for the game of professional golf. I think it secures it unifies it and it secures its financial future. So, there's mixed emotions in there as well, as there's going to be. I don't understand all the intricacies of what's going on. It's a very, what's the word? There's a lot of ambiguity. There's a lot of things still to be sort of thrashed out, but at least it means that the litigation goes away, which has been a massive burden for everyone that's involved with the tour and that's playing the tour. And we can start to work toward, some sort of way of unifying the game at the elite level.
This is just another example of how it was capitalism all along, and it just kind of makes so many people feel as though, what are they fighting for? The Madden 24 cover athlete was announced today, and confirming early reports, it is Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. With Josh Allen even tweeting that making the cover was a childhood dream come true. Allen will be the first Buffalo Bill to ever be on the cover of Madden. That said, there is this thing called the Madden curse that has negatively impacted the careers of so many cover athletes over the years. But the curse is kind of reversing. The reverse started in Madden 18, with Tom Brady, who was league MVP. And even though he lost in the Super Bowl, he has won one since, so not cursed. Then there's Patrick Mahomes, who was on the cover of Madden 20. Then he was definitely fine. Yeah, we're talking Super Bowl win fine, with no signs of slowing down, and yet he just won another Super Bowl last year. A year later, Lamar Jackson was on the cover, and yeah, things kind of have been a struggle, but the curse didn't stand in the way of him getting a ton of money, and some actual wide receivers this season. Finally, Brady and Mahomes shared the cover 2 years ago. And you can't just curse two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So what does that mean for this year's cover athlete? Are Bills fans nervous? Now, right now, my producer, Christopher Hine, wants me to say something nice about Josh Allen because he's a massive Bills fan. And honestly, I have nothing bad to say about Josh Allen, so I don't even know why he said that I have to say something nice. I only have nice things to say about Josh Allen. Good for you, kid. Congrats on the cover. Now joined by Matthew Shinetti to talk some soccer. Great to see you, Shooter.
What's up, Marissa?
Okay, Matthew, you spoke to both Alphonso Davies and his management team yesterday. Does he want out of Bayern this summer?
Well, Marissa, at least Alphonso Davies is telling me for the moment that he's happy at Bayern Munich, notwithstanding the plenty of turnover that has happened at a club that just won its 11th consecutive Bundesliga title. They've changed a few key members in their boardroom, and earlier in the season they changed their head coach. But Davies says his focus is on Bayern Munich. His agent says Davies is happy at Bayern Munich, but when I asked him if he's looking at those transfer rumors, Davies didn't deny it. He has been Googling himself and seeing the rumors, but he says the rumors right now are just rumors.
Bayern has reportedly said Davies is not for sale, with Lucas Hernandez and Benjamin Pavard both reportedly on their way out this summer. How realistic do you think a Davies transfer would be when the window opens?
Let's go a little inside soccer for just a little bit. Bayern Munich is not just one of the best run soccer franchises, they're one of the best run sports franchises in the whole world. So much so that they've been trying to extend Alphonso Davies' deal. His agent, Nick Husse, confirmed that to me a few weeks ago. Davies' current deal runs until 2025, and even though Husse also confirmed there have been teams inquiring about Alphonso Davies' future, Bayern isn't the kind of team that is easily pushed around. So realistic or not, come July when the transfer window opens, unless the terms are the terms that Bayern Munich like, realistic or not, Alphonso Davies won't be moving.
Shooter, a pleasure as always. We'll see you tomorrow to talk some CFL.
Thanks, Marissa.
That's all for today. We'll see you up again tomorrow, 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one.